Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this gorgeous waistcoat. If this is what you're interested in, keep watching, like, share and subscribe. Thank you. To get started, we'll start by drafting our upper bodice, and here I'm just placing my upper bodice measurement. That's my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and then I did my shoulder slant 1.5, and I marked my armhole length and then marked a straight line to the chest line. Then I went ahead to do my neckline, and I used 3x3 for the neckline, and I just connected the shoulder to the neckline. I also did the armhole drew the armhole using my armhole curve. I just marked 1 inch at that angle 90 point and then curved the line, joined the curved lines together. So this is me placing my bust measurement, my waist measurement plus that, and then I did waist to hip because this is supposed to be a top. So I did my waist to hip measurement, and on that line I did my hip measurement to be 9.5, and I connected all the lines together. I went ahead to plot my dart using my nipple to nipple divided by 2. I marked a straight line and took 1/2 inch on the waistline and then connected those lines like so. So after doing that, I went ahead to take my side dart because I wanted this waistcoat to have a little fitting at the bust area. So I went ahead to draft my back basic bodice. I did my shoulder divided by 2 plus 1/2 inch. Then I did my shoulder slant 1 inch, and I ruled a straight line to the chest line. I drew my neckline 3x1 inch, and then I connected it to the shoulder line. After that, I went ahead to draw my armhole, and I just did 1 inch at that L shape point, and I divided my armhole line by 2, and I came in by 1/2 inch. So then I connected all the lines together with my curved ruler and my straight ruler. So after that, I went ahead to measure my bust measurement divided by 4, and my hip measurement, my waist measurement, divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that, and my hip measurement divided by 4. So I'll go ahead and connect all the lines together and then show you what it looks like. I also went ahead at the waistline. I went ahead to come in by 1/2 inch because I want this waistcoat to have some fittings at the back. In fact, I have a very fine fitting at the back. So I came in by 1/2 inch at the waistline and connected it to my chest line and to my hip line. I went ahead to plot my dart. I took 1/2 inch on both sides and then I connected them together. So when I was done, I went back to the front draft so that I can complete it. So on that front draft, I just marked out 1 inch all the way down, and this 1 inch is going to serve as my button allowance. So I'm just going to rule a straight line 1 inch on that from the center front, mark out 1 inch and roll a straight line. So that's that for my button allowance. Then I will go ahead and determine my midpoint of my shoulder so I can have a straight dart, a shoulder dart, because I want the dart to go over the shoulder. So I just went ahead to divide the shoulder into 2, and then I marked a straight line connecting the shoulder to the apex. Just watch the video and you get to understand what I'm saying. So after that, I went ahead to determine my break point. So I came down from my apex 1 inch just to mark my break point. The break point is where the lapel will end. So at the neckline, I came in by 2 inches, marked that point. Then I connected the 2 inches that I just marked to the break points that I marked there, and I extended the line upwards. So after marking that line, I went ahead to the back and measured the neckline. Whatever I have there, I will note it and bring it back to the front and mark it on that straight line that I slanted. I mark it there. From that point, I'll go in by 2.5 inch and square that up. Then I'll go ahead and connect my neckline to that, extend my neckline to that 2.5 inch I just marked, like so. Then I went backwards 1/2 inch from that 2.5 inch I marked, and then I just did a slight curve. Back to the neckline. This will enable the collar sit perfectly on the neckline. So I just did a slight curve there like this. Then I came down by 1/2 inch on that slanted line I marked, 1/2 inch like so, and then I ruled a slanted line again upwards. The line is not going to be straight, it's going to be slanted upwards. I determined how wide I wanted my collar to be, and I marked the point there. I extended the neckline like so, and this is going to be my lapel. So I just marked how wide I wanted the lapel to be, and I marked it there. I came up 1.5 inch on this neck point, and I marked it there, and then I extended the line from that point there. I connected the collar together like so. Just watch closely and you get to understand. I noticed that my lapel was too wide, so I tried to reduce it. So I just reduced the lapel. So it depends on you how wide you want your lapel to be. I just reduced mine, and that will be the new line I'll be using now. So I'm going to cancel this one, and I'll use that other line here. So this is basically it for the notch collar. I will just go ahead, because I'm using 3 pieces of fabric, 3 different types of fabric. I want to just go ahead and mark out how I'm going to cut out this piece of fabric. So I decided to move my shoulder dart a little bit so that I can be able to get the third part of the piece. I divided whatever I had on the waistline into 2, and on the hip points into 2, and I marked the straight line. Whatever I had there, I just divided it into 2, just for me to be able to cut out the third piece, and then I marked it there. Mind you, at the shoulder point, I already divided that shoulder into 3, so I'm just extending the lines to the point that I marked, and I moved my darts to the first point. I divided my shoulder into 3 and marked the point, then marked those lines there. So I'll go ahead and raise the armhole by 1 inch, because there's no sleeve on this waistcoat. So, and we don't want our breast or armpit to be showing at that point. So I said to raise up the armhole by 1 inch and square it down there. So with this, my armpit is covered. It's going to be covered. That line, I'm just adding my sewing allowance 1 inch on the sides, 1 inch on all sides. That's what I'll use to sew, like so. So I did the same thing at the back. I added my 1 inch sewing allowance and raised my armhole point by 1 inch, and then connected the lines like this. Added my sewing allowance 1 inch all the way to the hip line. I'll go ahead and divide the shoulder point by 3, just the same way I did to the front. Divide it by 3 and mark the point, and then extend the lines. Yeah, so I extended the line to that point, I divided what I had on my waist measurements after the dart. I divided into two and divided the one on the hip line into two and then connected those lines. I hope you understand what I'm doing. And I marked it like this. So this is basically the draft. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. Cut it out like this. Please, I'll be in the comment section in case you don't understand anything. Just go ahead and drop your questions on the comment section, and I intend to answer all questions. I will attend to all questions. I'll be in the comment section. So this is just me cutting out all the lines out, what I'm going to need, cutting it out. Just watch the cutting process, please, so that you don't make mistakes while cutting. So I'm done with the front. So these are pieces for the front. Each of them will be different fabrics. That's why I made them into three. So this is the back. I'll go ahead and cut the back as well. Cut it out like this. So I'm done cutting, and this is the back piece. So I'll go ahead and cut all my pieces on fabric, both the front and the back, and I'll show you. So this is the front piece. I've cut it on fabric. I added 1/2 inch sewing allowance all round. Then I'm going to just go ahead and join these pieces together. I did the same thing to the lining, please. This is the back piece. I've cut it out, added 1/2 inch all the way around. So I'll go ahead and join this together. I cut the lining the same way I cut the fabric. So I'll go ahead and join these pieces together. So I've joined this piece together. This is the front piece. I've joined the lining and the fabric together. I infused interfacing to the lining. I cut the first and second piece of the lining on the fabric. I use the fabric as a lining. So I will go ahead and just turn the down and the lapel side. I'll leave the neckline and the sides open. This is the back. I have joined the back piece together. joined it together like this. Same thing I did to the lining. I joined the piece together. Let me get the lining. So this is the lining. I've joined it together too, like this. I also infused interfacing on the lining. I used medium gum stay for the interfacing. I'll go ahead and turn just the down of the back and I'll show you. So this is it. I've turned the front and the back. I've turned them all around. Then there is a slit in front, so I just left the space for the slit. I turned it too. I turned the each of the pieces. I marked 9 inches upwards and I stopped stitching there. Then I turned it like you turn the slit of your skirts. So I just turned it and left the opening there. I went ahead to join the shoulders, lining to lining, fabric to fabric. So I joined the front to the back shoulder, the lining and the fabric. I joined the fabric separately, just like this. So when I was done joining it and opening the slit as well. So the next thing I'll do now is to turn the armhole and join the sides. I'm going to turn the armhole and join the sides. So I flip this thing over to the wrong side, so I will just show you how I joined the slits. I don't know if you can see it, but this is how I turned the slits, just like you turn your skirts slits. I just turned it like that. So I'll go ahead and turn the armhole with the lining and the sides. I joined the sides with 1 inch sewing allowance that I added. I joined the sides and left that small opening so that I can use it to turn the neckline when I want to put the collar. So the next thing is to put the collar. I will go ahead and fix the collar. So to fix the collar, I'll just turn this fabric to the wrong side, turn everything out to the wrong side, and then I will pick the center of the back and pick the lining and match them together. And I've already turned my collar and I made a notch at the center of the collar. So I'm matching the center of the collar to the center of the back. The center of the collar to the center of the back, and then I close it up with the lining. So I'll go ahead and use pin and pin it up all round so it will be easier for me to sew. I'll just pin it up all around like so. Pin it all around like so. And then I'll sew on 1/2 inch. I'll sew on 1/2 inch all the way. So like this is easier for me to just stitch down one line straight, and then everything will come out clean and neat. So I'll pin it up and I'll go ahead to stitch it and then come and show you what it looks like. So I'll stitch it all around and show you what it looks like. So this is it. I'll done stitching and it's looking all fine and clean. I pulled it out from this point. So after that, I'll just go ahead and iron that opening either with hemming gum or stitch it down, either ways. So this is it. I was done sewing, done stitching. Everything is looking all clean. And I went ahead to fix my buttons and my eyelets. You can see my eyelets there at the space, the opening we did in front. So I went ahead to fix my eyelets and everything is looking all fine and clean. So if this tutorial was helpful to you, like, share and subscribe. See you in my next video. Thank you.